Let's break it down now. Joining us to discuss is Republican representative from New Jersey and member of the House Judiciary Committee and the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, Congressman Jeff Van Drew. Congressman, we always love it when you come on the show here. Take us through this impeachment of Mayorkas. A lot of people say it's symbolic. It's not much is going to happen in the Senate here. What's your take on this?
Well, it didn't have to be symbolic. Unfortunately, the Senate, the United States Senate, is going to make it symbolic by definitely not doing anything with it. But it was still very important to do. Actions have consequences. And the actions of this man, where he purposefully, willfully, openly left these borders open to the risk of the United States of America, to its sovereignty, to the people who live here, to the people who are citizens here, is horrendous. And that in itself, it really truly is enough for impeachment. Now, I think we all realize, impeachment is nothing to be dealt with lightly. It is meant to be very seldom used. But the case on Mayorkas, on not, fulfilling his oath of office to protect the United States of America, to protect the security and safety of this country and of Americans, is obvious. I mean, the bottom line is, we know for sure that there are people that are on the terror watch list who've actually gotten into the United States of America, and we don't even know where they are because the numbers are so huge. No country can prevail with open borders, never has done so historically. What he has done is openly and purposefully harmful to the country. He deserved to be impeached. When I interviewed him, when we were in committee and judiciary, I asked him if he would resign, and he said no. And I told him right then you deserve to be impeached. He deserves this.
What did he say when you told him he deserved to be impeached?
Well, first he said, I brought up all the things that he's done, how obvious it is, how easily we could have buttoned up the border and not allowed this horrendous situation to exist. And by the way, he perjured himself in judiciary. First, he said the border was completely under control, completely sealed. And then the next time he said it was out of control. So which is it? But he says different things to different people at different times. We have so many different quotes from him reversing himself. But when you're sworn in to speak before the Judiciary Committee, you ought to say what you mean and you ought to tell the truth. And what he said was, I said, will you resign? And he said no. And then I said, you deserve to be impeached. And he just looked down.
Congressman, I want to talk about that border bill that failed last week coming out of the Senate. We had a lot of blowback from mainstream media, President Biden. But then last May, H.R. 2, the House Republicans, they passed that here. Biden said he was going to veto that if it came through. He doesn't get the same backlash, though. It seems very hypocritical to me.
Oh, it's all the mainstream media. The truth isn't being told. If you're going to do that border bill, you're basically better off doing nothing. That border bill that the Senate did was just codifying, making legal illegal activity. Do you know that it would allow up to just about 2 million illegal immigrants to come to this country every single year through the border? You would just process them. Their idea of having the border under control is to have it completely open and just allow everybody to get processed. That's not the idea. The idea is to button up the border, close the border. The idea is to finish the wall. The idea is to remain in Mexico policy so that they don't come over. The idea is that when they do slip through, that they're caught and they're sent back, immediately expedited to the country of origin. The idea is to have better technology at the border so we can catch them as they come through, more Border Patrol agents, and allowing those Border Patrol agents to do their job. What is so extreme about that? What's so wrong about it that this president couldn't sign it? The last president, that was the policy that he had, and our border was slowed down to a trickle.
Yeah, vastly different situation at the border between Biden and, of course, former President Trump. Congressman Jeff Van Drew, we appreciate your being with us. Thank you.
Always good. Thank you.